gotta leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
party.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one. But they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, happy Friday. Welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. No co-host today, but it's a Friday, free for all. So open mic, and you're welcome to join us on stage. If you have any thoughts, comments, want to join the conversation, or you can add your thoughts and comments, questions in the chats down below. Chats plural, because we are live here on X audio, X video, as well as YouTube, and Abstract is back. Not sure what happened earlier this week, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go from 22 to 17 XP. Because we missed a day streaming over there. So not sweating that. Also not sweating the NFL draft. I guess my biggest ding was probably, I've got a lot of Tyler Algier exposure, but I'm not even really worried because I got him early before he steamed up in the draft boards, and he's going to be fine. He's still going to be the goal line back, I think, at least for the most part. Obviously, Jeremiah Love is going to be the RB1 there after going 3 and getting $50 million guaranteed, which is crazy. He's the highest paid running back in the NFL because of how the NFL draft works. And he's going to be a great player. It's just bad process, bad use of the 3rd overall pick. You can get running backs cheap. And anyways, Buckeyes crushed, although I'm surprised McDonald is still available. Their stud defensive tackle. I think he'll go probably one of the first off the board tonight when they get back at it. But fun day. I did not stay up, as this isn't going to surprise anyone, but I was out by the time Jeremiah Love got drafted. But I did wake up my normal 4 a.m. rise, and I've already consumed a 2-hour podcast. Granted, it was at 1.5x. Consumed the draft recap. Best pick of the draft might have been my Tampa Bay Bucks getting Bain to fall to them at 15. I think in the mock drafts, he was like 2% projected to last till pick 15. They had to be elated to get him there, and excited for the Browns crushed it. The Browns, they got their offensive tackle. that they probably would have taken at pick 6. They were able to trade down to 9 and get some extra picks, still get the same tackle. Again, because of how the draft salaries work, they got the same guy they wanted, grabbed some extra picks, saved some money, and then I think they got not the best receiver in the draft, but value-wise, I think Casey Concepcion might end up. I mean, he's instantly going to be the Browns wide receiver 1, and I'm biased because I'll just go check, see how much exposure I actually have. It's a lot. I was jamming Casey Concepcion. I think he's going to fly up draft boards now. And when I'm doing, I got about 200 best ball drafts in before the draft. Anything can happen. The whole game there is you just want closing line value. You want players like that are like Mike Washington, who hasn't got drafted yet, but I was hammering him before the combine, knowing he's a freak athlete and that he would likely move up draft boards as soon as he completed the combine, and he obviously did. I think if he gets, round 2 or 3 draft capital, he will fly up boards further. And so I got a lot of Mike Washington. I was glad to see him not go to the Seahawks. But yeah, Casey Concepcion is actually my number 1 drafted player. I have him in a third of my drafts at 33%, total $509 of entry fees so far. And while it's not great to have Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders throwing the ball, his number 1 competition for targets is a tight end. Now, Fannon's great as well. I like Fannon, but pretty excited to see him land there. I think Cleveland, I was giving him a hard time for trading the 2 pick last year, thinking Hunter would be more of a stud than he's been so far through his rookie year. But pretty excited to see how things are playing out so far. And congrats to all the young men who made millions last night. On the other end, the Rams taking Simpson so early was crazy. I get going for their Stafford replacement. I think it's probably the best landing spot for Simpson because he doesn't have to play immediately. He's not ready. Maybe Payne, our Bama guy, would agree. But McVay did not look happy with the pick because they're kind of all in. Like they got a legitimate shot to make a deep run, maybe even go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl this year. And a backup quarterback is not going to help you get there this year. So we'll see. It'll be years before you know if that was a good pick or not. But it was crazy because I don't think they had to trade up. Like I think they could, or I think they could have traded down and got him at the end of the first round. And if he's gone, he's gone. That's the crazy part is burning a 12th or 13th pick on a backup quarterback. Yeah, I thought they'd go receiver as well. It ended up because they did not go receiver. Anyone who had over 6 wide receivers in the first round lost that bet because while Tate and Tyson and Lemon, Cooper, and Concepcion went, the other one that was on the fringe is Denzel Boston. He did not go since the Rams did not take one of those receivers. Joey, no offense, I think it'll play out okay. But yeah, I like Sadiq, but that's probably one of the ones where I now I feel like I have too much exposure because I don't understand why they went tight end again. They had I also had a fair amount of Mason Taylor, thinking he would be in line for some targets this year. I just don't know, man. There's so many more needs they have than going Sadiq there. And I mean, I know freakish athlete tight ends who go in the first round are usually hits, but yeah, I think someone like Lemon or I don't know, just questionable. I do like Cooper. I didn't quite understand the Bailey pick, but not the worst. I mean, it was between him and Arvell Reese by most experts, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the read graph. I'm obviously a huge football fan. Speaking of, then I'll get out of the quote open here. Not often that I ask for love, support, or anything other than support of the show, which greatly appreciate all the early GMs. Shout out to our YouTube fam over there, Machiavelli, Thomas, Absolute Zero, Dobbins, Mike Campbell, Web3 Warhead, Poet Babe. Appreciate all of you, as well as those in the X video chat, Board Osaka, Yori, and many more. Greatly appreciate you helping us warm up the space and the chats. Very much so appreciated. While you're over there, if you haven't yet already, like the video and hit subscribe. If you're listening via your podcast later today or recording, would ask that you do the same. Head over to YouTube, give us a like and subscribe over there. We're really pushing hard. That's our big push to drive. We want to get over 500 subs. We're close. We just need those of you who are listening who haven't subscribed to your YouTube account to do that to help us get over the threshold there. It's also a Friday, so we will have the newsletter out tomorrow. Payne does a great job with that. It's a good recap and links to all the shows. If you happen to miss any of the shows this week, you can find that via the QR code on the video. I can learn how to point. The QR code on the video in my top left, I think it'd be your top left. And or just head to coffeewithcaptain.com and drop your email. We don't spam you. It's just once a week. And appreciate the support as always. Speaking of support, and the one thing I'll ask outside of this show, I dropped a video up top. I am looking to expand my repertoire and do a little more sports content this year. Pete Overzet, who has been maybe had the biggest come up in the world of fantasy commentators or content creators over the past 5 years. He had started breaking into the space, albeit very, it was like an addition. He actually, Pete would have done like what I'm looking to do on his new show. So you think you can tell he was doing that on things like Swolecast and doing some funny bits, kind of a stand-in, but hadn't really had a breakout moment until it was actually NBA Top Shot. He started Club Top Shot back in 2021 and kind of had a moment with them and has just continued like up and to the right on his trajectory as far as a fantasy analyst and content creator. His approach is more the comedic approach than several. I mean, he's got good takes as well, but just brings the humor. Anyways, he's created and doing the first fantasy sports reality competition. So think of like Bachelor, but instead of auctioning off people to date, it's fantasy analyst. And he got over 100 applicants, and I threw just one shot at a application video at the deadline last night. He was running it up until the draft, so decided to just fire a shot. I would enjoy the opportunity, but certainly not going to lose any sleep if I'm not considered. But yeah, if you don't mind giving that video up top a like, a comment, drive some little extra love, would greatly appreciate it. I'm just seeing Von Frunton's comment about Claude and video editors going to panic. The team behind browser use just open source an editor that runs inside Claude Coding. Now, why would they panic? I think video editors. See, this is I think where I net out on not just video editing, but AI in general. Like, I'm not replacing Payne. Like, even if I could do that, I would rather just focus on what I do and have Payne do that. Like, I think it'll just help Payne become more and more efficient as an editor, grabbing clips and whatnot as AI. And you see a lot of this stuff, and maybe this one's different. It's just not feasible for most small content creators. Like, at the end of the day, like, again, sight unseen. I've not played with this one, but a lot of this stuff when it comes to video and video clips and AI doing everything from A to Z, yeah, if you want to spend $1,000 an episode, like it's far more expensive using tokens to do a lot of this stuff, especially for a show like ours where it's 2 hours. It's far more expensive for most of the AI support than it is for a human to do it, because it's so much data. You're talking like, I don't know, Payne, drop me in the chat. I think our, like an average show, I mean, it's several gigabytes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but Payne, I'm sure could. But it's so much data, and to do anything video inside of these LLMs, it's very, very expensive. And it's interesting because I think, you saw Facebook came out with another round of cuts. Microsoft is offering early retirement to like 7 to 10% of their workforce. And while you're seeing that happening, I don't think I think we're a ways off to replace all humans in the workforce, because it's very expensive. Like, the tokens are not, and it's already very expensive, and it's likely to get more expensive, because the reality is these AI companies, they're doing, most of their clients they're loss leaders. Like, they're being subsidized. I think I saw the average ChatGPT subscriber spends like $1,300 worth of credits every month, and you're paying $20 or $200. I also there's now, and we'll get into a deeper dive with this on Bunchu on Monday, but the not only are they so expensive and will throttle your usage, there's people saying that Claude is just they downgraded it. Instead of cutting and limiting usage more, they went to like an older model for at least for the $20 users. It's just not as good as it once was. Something changed in April, and they like went backwards to use less tokens. How do you win Community Member of the Week next week? Mayhem, you're due, buddy. If you don't have to come on stream, but if you're going to be around all show, Coffee with Captain is yours today. I appreciate all your support as always, all the value you add to the show via the respective chats. And if you can let me know whether you want to keep or swap your claw pool, you're up for Coffee with Captain today. Long overdue. You're maybe a community member of the week every week, but we can't award it to you every week. So appreciate all the love and support. And it's let me know if you're going to be around for probably do that probably around the 9 o'clock hour. But I would just see how the conversation's going. I don't want to interrupt a conversation midstream. I also have a couple of invites out there. Yeah, I agree, Katie. You can't replace the human element when it comes to AI. For as good as it is, it still lacks taste on most things. And if it like even StreamYard will capture 12 clips per every show, maybe 2 of them are useful. The rest just aren't quite there. Not quite yet, anyways. Ask and you shall receive. What is that, Mel? What did I ask and what am I receiving? The general dropping his bearish deal of the day in the chat. I'm looking at a bearish and looking at a bad buns are 2 that I need to add. This is just me saying this. I have no idea. I have not talked to the team, but I would not be surprised at all if we see bearish follow Zeet and move to Mega ETH. And you guys, we're back. We are back. I know we called it a few weeks ago. The bottom was in, and just another confirmation. He left, but requesting to come up on stage was a broken Bitcoin. Ben Armstrong. What was his name? Bitboy. And from his like mugshot with the username Harry Balls, BALLWZ. Harry Balls looking to get on stage. We are back when the scammers are back and the aura farmers shillers are back wanting to get on stage. We've made it. We are out of the bear. Yes. So sorry, Harry Balls distracted me for a minute. This is as per the headline, as per the title, Clarity Act is maybe dead. It's under pressure, if not dead. But brief overview before I get into the Clarity Act. That's probably the big news today. Very few people on crypto Twitter are talking about, but I think it's a pretty big deal. You also have the Kevin Warsh hearing, and it was replacing Powell as the next Fed chair. Warsh vowed he would not be Trump's sock puppet on rates, pledging independence. He called for a regime change at the Fed. Maybe a little bit more on that. Bitcoin is still doing okay, stalled out a little bit, but then finally broke through 78. It looks like 80K is the wall, but we do have Bitcoin conference next week. As I said a couple times, I think we might get an actual announcement or potentially some big news. But that Clarity Act is Polymarket odds went from 72% to 46% this week alone. Harry is back. Harry, if we have a common follow or I will no offense, the username and the PFP screams Schiller or I don't want to go far as say scammer because I don't know you, but doesn't give great vibes. Gives Schiller or a Farmer maybe. Yeah. No offense. Typically an open stage for all. But got to do a little bit of screening. Joey, GM, what brought you up this morning?
You were GM, buddy.
Happy Friday.
I don't know if you saw, but I sent you the code for today.
Got it. Thank you very much.
You were talking about, Bitcoin breaking through. I think my favorite part about watching Bitcoin climb is my free Bitcoin growing. Like I think there's a different feeling when you're purchasing crypto and it goes up and down than where like you've earned rewards and those rewards are just like doubling. Like my Coinbase account, because of the Coinbase credit card that I bought, months ago, and I've just been using it for literally every single purchase. I have it connected to my PayPal. I have it connected literally everywhere. So it's every single purchase I make. And just watching that money almost double from where we were to like now, it's so pleasurable. Like, I don't understand how other people are not doing this. Like, how are you just not spending why would you ever spend cash in 2026? Why would you not have something that rewards you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm trying to think what it was. So something specific, it hit me recently where I'm earning a little bit of, it's not a card, it was something else. I don't know why I can't remember what it was. It'll hit me like I've got Tourette's later. But something similar experience just this past week where I was accumulating something by way of rewards, and next thing I was like, oh, that's actually not nothing. It had grown pretty quickly, but for the life of me, I can't think what it was. It'll come back later. Before I forget, I'm commenting right now. I just saw Ilan. Ilan's out there in the audience. You got to go click Ilan's. You got to go click through his bio, because in the audience at first it still showed his Pudgy PFP, but he just updated it. If you click through, you can you will see the new Fire Ape he just picked up. Not one, but multiple. I don't mean this like with any disrespect, not trying to make a PvP, but when I think of Ilan and when I think of like Greeny Trades, I think of their Pudgy PFPs. I think of Pingu Maxis or Pudgy Maxis, not in a derogatory sense, but both of them picked up a pretty fire ape and swapped their PFP yesterday. Congrats on joining the club. I just tagged the just left this comment and tagged the Welcome Apes account. If you have the chance to drop into one of their, I think next Wednesday will be they meet every Wednesday, and it's in other side. The last Saturday of the month, it's at Audio Spaces. So I think next Wednesday, or that last Wednesday of the month, next Wednesday will be in next Wednesday will be in on Twitter Audio Spaces. But congrats, Fire Ape, love it. And as I said in the DM, I love the merch shirt. I in hindsight, like I did fine with my apes, and the PFP is not gone anywhere. And I think the downside of like getting lucky and minting a forever ape on mint night was I didn't do as much. Now I made a lot of bids on Grail apes and none of them hit. I wish I had, because I had the conviction from the jump. I wish I had went around and bought more apes during the early days and held on to some traits that I enjoy. The merch shirt is one of them. But yeah, big congrats on the pickup. I got it here on the video, and go give Ilan some love on that post. Actually, I'll pin it up top so you can give him a little extra love. And speaking of apes, and we'll get right back to Joey here, is merch shop at 9 a.m. today. You know what? I didn't even look. If anyone knows, I'll go find the post from the official account. But Dora, is that your coda? I didn't realize we have the same. We both have a coda with that same head. Mine, not to brag, but I got a very rare Grail weapon with mine. But fire coda. Looking for because what I was looking at, I didn't know if the merch drop today at 9 is it gated, or is it? I'm guessing some of the items might be gated, maybe none. At the clubhouse yesterday was a great one. Little nostalgic as they kind of a anniversary celebration, if you will. Here we are, finally found it. The small capsule to mark the moment, available tomorrow at 9 a.m. Oh, it's 9 a.m. Pacific. I thought it was 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. So at noon today, this drop, it's 2 posters, a hat, and some stickers. Maybe it's open to all. Maybe it is open to all because it's, just the only actual apparel is the hat. I need to look at the hat more. I'm pretty particular. I'm very much so a dad hat enjoyer, and a lot of hats just look funny on me. I don't know if it's the size of my head. I don't know. I can't do the snapbacks. I can't. So I don't know. I just don't know if I'm in the market for the hat or not. But in addition to, while I'm rapid firing events here, in addition to Coffee with Captain here in a little bit, we also have, you can go win a gold claw pool if you guess what Andrea was talking about in her post, where they just hit another milestone yesterday. And anyone who guesses what that milestone is gets a gold claw pool. Good luck. Go get one. Mayhem's going to get a claw pool today for Coffee with Captain. And I just want to flash the images so y'all can see it for those that are looking in video if you haven't seen it yet. And then I want to get Ape Will in here because I think while I can't do it every weekend because I think I shared on here, I was like, not just sore, but I was like slow moving in the morning, getting out of bed. I think all through Wednesday, like it's going to be multiple days to recover. And while I go hard.
Sounds like you need peptides, Cap.
I do need peptides. I absolutely need peptides. That was actually, kid you not, like probably the final. Like I shared with you, I found a site where they had maybe Easter weekend. I don't know. They had basically 15, 20% off. They had 35% off one weekend. And I was going to load up. I was going to get my first initial order. Had my cart loaded up. I had everything. And I just didn't pull the trigger. And I really think it comes down to I'm not, I just don't like needles. I'm not looking forward to injecting myself.
My guy has his stuff on sale, and he now has aspirators, so you can do like just basically like nose sniff, like after.
Okay.
If you don't want to do injections.
I can do that.
We can talk about it. I'll explain.
I've put a lot of worse things up my nose than peptides, so I can do that. Rip Fuel, I talked about. Like I busted open a capsule of Rip Fuel in college, and thought it would be a good idea to. And it was don't ever do that. Like don't follow us for the financial advice. Do follow me for advice of things not to do. You never ever want to do that. It was like instant migraine that lasted for like 5 hours. Never ever do that. Learn my lesson the hard way. Trying for next week. It's his son's birthday. Does that mean you want to pass on your Coffee with Captain claw pool today? Or I just want to make sure I'm not following. Phonics is also due. We might have to get Phonics in here because Phonics has done 10 claw pulls and yet to have a profitable one yet. So Phonics is due. Maybe Phonics. Yeah. Okay. So Mayhem's passing to next week. That means we do have today's Coffee with Captain for the week is open. We'll pull from the YouTube audience. Someone that's over there commenting in the YouTube feed. We will select you as our Coffee with Captain winner for this week. Before I go to April here, though, this is the small capsule that's dropping at noon Eastern today. I just can't tell if this hat will work for me or not. It looks like it might be dad hattish. I'm usually not a big fan of the backs like this, but I do have a couple that are okay. I just don't know. I can't decide if I'm going for the hat. Oh, it is members only. Jesus, all I had to do was read. So it is members only hat. So you do have to have an ape or mutant to buy the hat. I like how they are emphasizing Yacht Club. I'm not sure if we hit on that post the other day or not, but really leaning into Yacht Club. I've also seen some speculation that two things. One, maybe a little more out there, the club. Now, I don't think this is going to be the case simply because Illa was on record of saying they were blocks away from the clubhouse when they were at the last Miami meetup. So I do think the clubhouse will actually be a physical brick and mortar building. But the other thing that I think might absolutely be in range is I think Ape Fest this year is going to be in Miami, and I'm gonna. And this isn't my. I've seen it on the timeline, so it's not my idea, but I'm gonna buy into it, and I'm gonna say it now on record that I think Ape Fest 2026 will be on a yacht. I think they will run back Ape Fest 1, where if you weren't at Ape Fest 1, it was multi-night, and night 1 was on a yacht in the Hudson, like 1,000-person yacht. I think it's the biggest boat, biggest ship that floats around the Hudson. Like 3 stories, 3 decks, pretty cool, really cool experience. I'll go grab some pictures and show, like, we just toured around and went right up to the Statue of Liberty, and you see the skyline. Pretty cool experience, pretty amazing. And then night 2 was in the warehouse party. Really, really awesome. I mean, all of them have been great for their own different reasons. Like Hong Kong was incredible just to experience Hong Kong. It was probably something that I wouldn't have done yet at some point in my life, maybe, but hard to beat Ape Fest 1 and Ape Fest 2. They were all timers. And actually, I think Ape Fest 1, for many reasons, I would even rank it ahead of Ape Fest 2. It just my opinion. But my long story short, I like that they're leaning into Yacht Club. I'm going to be talking about that more and more, and pulling out and maybe a reach, but speculating that I think maybe some foreshadowing that Ape Fest 2026 will be on a yacht in Miami. Sticker pack, I think I sent it to Dort yesterday. I can't believe I'm buying more posters and stickers today, but here we are. I'm probably going to grab the sticker pack, and I don't know if I'm going to get the clubhouse poster. I'm debating. Like, part of me wants to get, I like this poster, but this April poster, but it's also like, I've got one back here, if you can see, thanks to Ape Whale, that he pulled together, printed this for the Tampa meetup. And so it's not entirely not necessary. And I'm guessing, I guess this is where I net out. If they are just posters in like a poster tube, I'll probably buy them and frame it myself. If it's already framed and matted like this, they're expensive. And I'll probably pass if it's like a $120 poster or $100 poster because of the frame. I'll probably pass, because I was actually sharing in our Florida group chat that I've nailed the I think I've nailed the frames, and have good sources on Amazon and get really affordable frames, like 5-packs or 6-packs for these event type posters from any different sizes. So it just ends up being a heck of a lot cheaper than buying one that's pre-framed. But a real good legit frame is very expensive. Like the one in the—
Are those pre-framed, Cap?
The only one that was pre-framed was the crypto painter, the crypto painter piece that he featured my ape in. That one he sent to me pre-framed. All the others were just posters that I grabbed the frames. So if you need a good link for an Amazon frame, so it's like 18 by 24 is Hong Kong, and then it also Vegas fit, although that was flush. These ones, Ape Fest 1 and in the Tampa meetup was 11 by 17. And these must have been, I don't know, I've got the link, but the Ape Fest 2 were all obviously all the same size, a little bigger than Ape Fest 1 or the other one. So all that being said, I've ranted long enough about frames and posters. Ape Will, GM, thank you again for printing the Tampa paintball meetup. The event poster. I said, maybe I'm silly, but like, I unboxed this thing. I didn't even look when we were at paintball, and I took it out when I got home, and it was perfect, the perfect cherry on top. I think you heard me say that yesterday, but just to reiterate, thank you very much for deciding to get those printed. We could have just had the, right click save the art that they shared, but it was truly a perfect cherry on top for the event, and kind of hard coded the memory for myself. It's something that, now every time I come in my office, I will have a nice reminder of that fun Saturday that left me sore for like 6 days afterwards. But GM, sir, what brought you up this morning?
GM, man, I'm glad that it had that effect. That's the effect I was going for. But I wanted to come up to mention a couple things that you mentioned One was the hat that they're dropping today. It is not a dad hat. It's a snapback 5-panel structured hat.
Yeah.
Which is for big heads like me are perfect.
They look good on big heads. I don't have any head envy. I never felt I had a small head until I tried to wear these snapbacks. It just doesn't work. I look ridiculous. It's either a small head or it's just like my age. I look like I'm a guy in my mid 40s trying to be a zoomer.
You look like a tryhard. Yep. like you're trying to look cool or something.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel. I was like, I just can't do it. Like even the other one, I guess I don't have it back here right now, but the ones that come with the Welcome Ape kits from NFT Hoarder, from Jason, the ones that just say board, those are awesome hats. I love the hat. I just can't pull it off. It ends up being a showpiece behind me because I feel like I'm just trying way too hard to look like a cool kid. Like it just doesn't. It's a me thing. It's not a hat thing. It's 100% on me. But so yeah, I'll be passing on unless I guess if it's, and I expect it to probably be more north of 40, but if it's like $30, I'll buy one just to put behind me, but I'll probably pass on the hat.
I wouldn't say past $60. I think anywhere between 40 and 60 would make sense. Traditionally, like how they price their hats. But the Hoarder hat is a great hat. It just fits me too small, so I gave it away because I bought it at Vegas. I put it on, and I'm like, man, I look like a clown. So I gave it away at the paintball event. And
man, if that hat's too small for you and it's too big for me, now I'm starting to have a little bit of head size envy here. I'm starting to feel like I might actually have a small head.
I have a big old head. So, but yeah, the hat is, I think you already mentioned it, members only. So that'll be token gated, I believe. We'll see. I also think, and this is just me speculating, I think they're going to drop something else with the merch. I think they only release 4 items, but traditionally, like they'll put 4 pictures up in the tease, and then there'll be like something else that they didn't talk about or that they didn't share yet. So I'm hoping that's the case.
What are you hoping for? What would you like to see the 5th item or 6th item? What else would you like to see in this drop?
Something like a summer shirt or summer shorts, something for summer, because it's gonna, it's the yacht club, summertime.
Have they done shorts yet? I don't think they've dropped any. Oh no, they have. I have one from maybe Ape Fest 2 that just said I think maybe board on them. But there's none available now, I don't think. And it was a very limited run when they did shorts. Is that just the one they only style? Am I thinking right?
They have some mutants, I think, sweatpants. Remember the one that has like I think it's Ape Fest 2, like you said, they're like the cream color ones. Yeah,
there was one that had, well, I didn't have the cream color. Both of mine are black. There's one that has like green mutant stuff, and another one has like, it's got a red, not embroidered, but like a puffy paint on the side of it. It also look like a tryhard. Like that's if I'm going to wear one of those big hats, I need to wear that big hat with my mutant.
I think they're getting away from that kind of design style. They're going back to premium, high apparel, high fashion type of stuff, which I think is going to be cool for the club.
I agree. Like, true story. Real quick
if you don't wear it.
Real quick on those sweatpants. True story. I wore them to the gym one day. I think I've worn to the gym one day since I've lived going to my current gym. It's the only time I've been going to this gym where a stranger complimented me on my gear. He, like a younger kid, like a cool looking younger kid, comes to me. He's like, "Are those Nikes?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" And it was like, I was like, "What's going on?" It was because I was wearing some sweatpants that were definitely they were like streetwear sweatpants, something I don't pull off or don't attempt to wear. I just threw them on one morning, not thinking about it. And it's the only day I've been going to the gym for 5 months. It's the only time anyone's ever complimented my gear was wearing those mutant sweatpants.
Hey, you got to bring it back out, man. Bring it back out.
Since I'm probably getting these, at least the stickers today. We'll see what else I end up going with, but I may get the shirt. I hope I would with you, whether do shorts or some more t-shirts. I like the distressed skull logo. I like that it's just a logo. I haven't ordered this one yet, so I may add to the cart, get one of those. I'm not a fan of zip up hoodies. I'm much more the pullover style, but I had a thought recently. I might grab this one just to have it. And I think about everything else here, I don't have all the beanies, but I think I have, and I don't have these posters or the scarf, but the socks, the bag, I have both these robes. I don't have the candle. but I think I have everything else. I don't have any of the new apparel they dropped. But yeah, I'm with you. I hope I would love to see a 5th or 6th item that's something for summer, shorts or
just something like maybe a T-shirt, or also something they usually do is like something irreverent, like something random. So whatever that random other thing is, like the candles, the lighter, just something else. Not just a hat and stickers. Like that's cool, and the posters are cool, but give us something else that makes it whimsical, which is part of the things I love. And the other thing is we have our space at 10 a.m. today, so dropping a chill. So once this is over, please head over to that. It's in my profile somewhere, so I wanted to just drop that real quick.
Yeah, appreciate it. I will. I'll go find it and drop it up top here in a second.
And then something really crazy. So yesterday, I set up a space around like 10 a.m. around like after your show, and I ran it. I'm gonna run it for 24 hours until Garga gets on here, but it was a silent space, so it ran for 15 hours, dude. And then like Figgy comes on, he tries to request. I'm like, it's like 1 a.m. and I'm like, all right, I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up early. I got a long day, whatever. He doesn't. He can't. I don't see his request because X is bugging. So then we start talking. Like Riot is up there, Coco. All these people are up there. We're all talking. Some people are reminiscing about stuff. And then Figgy's like, "Hey, I tried. Jesus fucking Christ! I tried to request for 5 minutes. I got to go do some work." So then we talk for 2 hours, and then I go to bed, and they start another space. And guess who shows up? Figgy goes on their space while I'm asleep. I'm like, God damn it! So I thought that was pretty funny. Happened yesterday. Guy's
an animal. He's been hit up all the. He's done the full blown media tour while continuing to work around the clock. Unfortunate that spaces. I don't know. Sometimes I obviously don't run typically more than a couple hours, but they get a little finicky like that at times. It's something else I've deduced. Maybe if there's a lot of things posted in the Jumbotron, it can start getting a little glitchy. I mean, space can be glitchy in general. Speaking of, there was an X update this morning. So if any of you in the audience are wanting to come up on stage, before you do so, maybe go check that you're running the most recent version of X, just so there's no issues there. But I even like thinking about this drop today, I would be like another item I think would be a cool one would be like some slides or flip flops, something like that for summer. Something, if they're leaning into the yacht club, the yacht club theme, something like that summertime, I think would be a good hit. And I would be in the market for that as well. I saw Teacher Katie just she commented on the abstract chat. I'm going to pin up another post right now talking about the importance of a PFP. So I'm pinning it unread, but says, how important do you think a PFP is? I've had mine for most of my time in Web3. I use it as a representative of myself and have utilized the IP to make merch and to support my own brand. I'm a networker and supporter of many projects, curious to hear other people's perspective as the narrative has changed. Feels like PFPs are having a comeback. Feels like they're having a moment. I went the route of, actually, I'm trying to think what PFP I had before I minted this ape. I have no idea. I cannot remember. I'm guessing it was probably just a PFP of my face, but I truly cannot remember what picture it was before I minted this ape. And while there's been a couple of days where I've swapped out, done like the Good Vibes Club honorary they made me, or other than an honorary, the only time I changed my PFP is I swapped it out on Moonbird's mint day for a space burb, but I switched it back the following day. So not a day has went by where I haven't had this as my PFP, and there's maybe been, I could count on my fingers the amount of times probably one hand actually, the amount of times I even swapped it out for less than 24 hours. But I think, especially on this app, I think just for awareness, recognition, and not getting lost in the sea of faces. The PFP on this app is very small, and I from personal experience, I don't really care what anyone else does. I'm just saying for myself, there's been several other people that have went from their PFP they've had for years to something else or their human face, and I lose them. I don't see them on the timeline. Like weeks go by, like where did so-and-so go? And I look and it's like, oh, I've seen them. I just didn't recognize it was them, and I didn't engage with the post. So I think there's my personal opinion. I think there's absolutely something to whether it's a PFP or your human face. The consistency, I think, really does matter, specifically on this app because the PFP is so small. And in an app where you've got hundreds of millions of users, most of which rock their human face, I believe that the NFT PFP really does stand out. I would love them to bring back the hex, but not only do I think the NFT PFP stands out, there's been a lot of individuals that have went back to the PFP, or like in the case of Ilan and Greeny, recently changed to an 8 PFP. And I don't know, can't speak for them, but I think you get a pretty warm welcoming, not just from the community and the Welcome Apes crew, but I said this yesterday in the work, like apes support apes. Like they're going to, are they going to engage your post more? Probably. I think they're also, if you're building something, you're more likely to, not that you shouldn't feel like, oh, because I have an 8 PFP, I can launch some product or something and they're all going to buy it now. I think that can happen, and you will get some supporters. I don't think that's the reason necessarily to buy an ape. And I think this also, it kind of ebb and flows, right? For at the peak of Mania, it became almost like not a negative, but so many people took advantage of it. So many people just did it. They went, they bought an ape, they swapped the PFP, they dropped an NFT collection, they extracted 6-7 figures out of the space, and then went on and did something else and floored their PFP. They did it just for that. And so I think because that happened for a while, it lost some of the organic support and the genuine goodwill that you get. And what I'm seeing on the timeline is that's back. Like the organic, genuine support, the organic goodwill that existed in the early days, I think it's back now. I actually don't know what drove it. Like, I know we inject the tapes. We called it, I think, at the beginning of April. The NFT bottom was in. Before this run up on apes, they were still like 5 ETH-ish, maybe 6. And I could sense the sentiment changing. It just sensed that bottom was in. And it's easy now to look back and say, oh yeah, I was right. I've been wrong before on this stuff too. But this time we were right. And it changed before Figgy took the role. Now, if I'm trying to what drove it, what drove the sentiment change, what marked the bottom before Figgy got announced as CEO, I think we would find it lines up to when Figgy actually took the reins and Garga stepped into the chairman role. Figgy was on this show. I'll have to ask him. I think he was already officially running Yuka. I think he had already taken on the reins, because when they made the announcement, he said, I don't know if it was directly or indirectly, he said he'd been in the role. He assumed the role a few weeks ago. I think he might have been in the role when he was on this show. It just wasn't announced yet. It just wasn't public yet. And with that, I think I'll give Figgy a lot of credit for driving home the utility for the club. It wasn't just the board paintball meetup in Tampa. I think ended up being like 30 meetups across the globe that Yuga, PP Man, I think, was running point on kind of organize that from the club. Is that right, Ape Boy? Is PP Man get some credit for kind of supporting from the corporate standpoint?
Yeah, 100%. And he reached out personally in DMs to myself and many other apes, and he was like, hey, we're trying to do this thing. We're listening. Communication is going to get better. We promise. It's just going to take a couple weeks. And then I was like, hey, man, I want to set up a meetup. He was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Florida, in Tampa. He's like, fucking do it. We got you. And the rest is history.
I love it. Again, not taking credit, but a couple weeks before Figgy was on, again, I'm not taking credit. Please don't take this out of context. I kind of vented on this show. I kind of went on a rant because it had been, I don't know, 5-6 months since Ape Fest. And while we had gotten a lot of updates on the other side and they had shipped a lot of new activations, on the club element, anything other than other side was kind of silent. Like, we hadn't heard anything on the clubhouse. There was people starting to question, like, is the clubhouse, are they rugging us on the clubhouse? Is the clubhouse even going to happen? What's going on? Share some updates. And I shared that candid critique and feedback here on the show. And then, as I said, I'd follow up on the show after the show in the DMs. Before I could even follow up, Figgy reached out to me and he's like, hey, we hear you. We listened. I heard the show and we agree. There's more coming. Just bear with us, be patient, and we hear you on the comms front. He's like, I'd like to come on, and so that he came on the show the following week, and a few weeks later he gets announced as CEO. So again, I'm not taking credit. But what I want to give credit for is them listening. Figgy said it. PP Man said it. It's like, hey, we missed, like, so many of us here, like, fully understand the big swing they're taking with other side. Fully understand that's their big swing towards revenue generation and growing into their valuation and generating the sort of revenue they need to support a company of their size and for what, you know, it's a huge swing. Like it's much more realistic that they're going to, while still a big, you know, there's still a lot of risk in it. There's no guarantee. Much more likely they accomplish that with other side than they will with occasional apparel drops or the clubhouse. So fully understand it and get it. That's that so many of us fell in love with the club and the people and the in real life activations, and in real life is the alpha. And them hearing that, even if they've been, and I don't think all this stuff just happened overnight. I think a lot of this stuff, like obviously the clubhouse, they've been working on it. But I think like hearing the feedback, and it wasn't just me, there was others that echoed similar sentiment. They delivered on everything we were asking for thus far. Like they stepped up and they not only gave the updates, they went a step further and supported dozens of in real life meetups. So big kudos to them for listening and caring. And we talk so often about driving alignment with your supporters, your holder base. They did exactly that. I see we have a couple other hands here. I want to get one of the newest members of the club, longtime friend of the show, just friend in general. Hizzy, GM, what brought you up this morning?
I got two things. First and foremost, Cap, does Yuga normally call it a capsule drop, or is this a first?
I think they've used that terminology before, yeah.
Because in the past, I think capsules sometimes is like it's an all-in-one, like you're just buying all of it.
Yeah,
so
interesting.
It's an easy pick, pack, and ship for them. So you would probably get the hat, the stickers, and the posters all in one. I'm kind of guessing.
Interesting. Yeah, good call out. Maybe so. Maybe so.
And then Ape Whale, how was your friend that took the pictures responding to the community?
He is very interested. The price pumped a little bit, but I'm going to let it cool down and then try to get him to go back into it. But he's definitely interested in that, and he's loving everybody, loving the photos and stuff. He's like, man, they're crazy. I'm like, yeah, man, they want to come back out. But he's loving it.
Yeah, great dude.
I take pictures as well, and I think we need more humans like he and I in the individual areas in each region to help document all this. So yeah, I loved his photos and telling that from another shooter.
Photos were great.
Will do.
Yeah, I'll double tap on that. The photos were great and just a great dude. Like would be a perfect fit with the club. Just very cool personality and got me, like, no joke, like got me considering. I left paintball thinking about, should I go drop $400 or $500 on some paintball gear today? I have not done that yet, but let
me know if you do, because I got the hookup. I can always get you hooked up.
Yeah,
that blue marker he gave you, and then did you see the mask at the end? I was like, man, it's 8-chain blue. It was so perfect.
Yeah, I was went from like the rental gun from the place, which were fine, but it's like you got to hit, you got to get lucky in about like almost you're shooting buckshot, but with a single bullet. To that thing was like, I had more. Is it okay to call them kills? Is that politically correct nowadays?
Yeah, you can call them kills. That's fine.
Hits, kills, whatever. I took out more people with that gun in like the final 2 games. I did the entire day combined. Thing was like it was I felt like I had like a legit sniper. I felt like I had a scope on the thing. Also Hizzy
leveled up, dude.
Hizzy Dort did confirm. So he agrees with you. He thinks the capsule, he thinks this is going to be an all-in-one. So if that's the case, then the posters probably aren't framed. If it's going to be a capsule, like here, this package, you get 2 posters, the stickers, and a hat for X. They're probably coming like this would be my guess. He said the last capsule they did was the Macbeth t-shirts, which had stickers, t-shirt, and poster. So yeah, good call out. You're probably right. This likely will be a like all those for you buy the capsule or not, but you probably won't be able to piece out individual ones unless you go aftermarket. secondary market.
Hey, real quick, do you and is it because we're seeing the members only tag on the hat that we're thinking that it's gated, or is someone actually seeing words token gated?
So it says not only does it say members only on the hat image itself says members only. So maybe what it is, maybe it's the posters and stickers are in the capsule and the hat is a separate item, or maybe the whole thing is token gated. But we may get an update before noon Eastern when the drop actually occurs. But yeah, it will be interesting. I see we got Uncle Mac up here. Also, before I go to Uncle Mac, Hans, thank you again for the very generous Pingu tip over there. My Pingu bags are growing while my XP may be going backwards. This week might be negative XP since I missed a day. My abstract wallet, it continues to grow thanks to all the generosity of our abstract audience. Uncle Mac, GM sir, what brought you up this morning?
GM Goten, thanks for having me up. It was just a quick one. It was the take on the PFP matters. I'm sure you know Crypto Bullies is. I'm sure Crypto Bullies has been on this stage before. Crypto Bullies is always whinging at the moment. I mean, he's always whinging anyway, but he's always whinging about his engagement. He's like, I'm shadow banned for real. Nobody sees my post, nothing. No one sees nothing. He changed back to his mutant yesterday. I've been seeing his posts again. So if you want a small anecdotal case study of PFP matters, Crypto Bullies changes his PFP back to his mutant, and suddenly I start seeing all of his posts again. Not shadow banned anymore. Yeah.
Again, to each their own. You don't have to rock an NFT PFP, but to Katie's question she posed, I do. I think the PFP matters a lot. And if you are going to go human face or a non-notable NFT PFP or piece of art or just a something you design, make it stand out somehow. Make it needs to be different to stand out on the app. Different, and then I also think like sticking with it for a while. You don't have to stick it with it forever. You don't have to rock it for 5 years like I have. But I do think there's some real, especially on X, there's some real validity in a recognizable PFP that stands out from the crowd. And I think that the benefit you get with something like an ape or a pudgy or a doodle is not only is it recognizable, it comes with like embedded supporters, embedded fans. Like you're able to drift off of the overarching brand, and it's not zero. I don't know, like it's going to vary by person, but you're just like you were talking about Crypto Bullies, like there's going to be at least a few individuals that see, recognize, engage with their post that probably don't see, recognize, or engage with it if it's not in that said community. Yeah, I think it is. I'm not saying you can't build a personal brand without an NFT PFP. It's not what I'm saying, but I think especially on X, the PFP matters. And some people have done, like Katie mentioned, you put it on merch. I think of a girl in the verse who has rocked her PFP forever and pulled it into in real life. So you go to Bitcoin Vegas next week, you'll probably see girl in the verse with a shirt on or a hat that's got her PFP on it. Like, done a great job of not only driving recognition online on X, but then it's instantly, if you've never met her in person or never seen one of her videos before, you instantly know who it is. Joey, just so you know, Dobbins is about once a week. I get an update from Dob. I mean, he's posting on his feed as well, but he just DM'd me, said I absolutely should get on the Wolverine stack. He's loving it. Hopefully I didn't just violate some HIPAA there by sharing that, but I think you're public with it, so I'm good. Yeah, I don't know. Knowing I can just spray something on my nose versus injecting myself with a needle is probably more likely to get me on board. Yeah, Zane, real quick back to the Claude, the clipping stuff. Zane just said, yeah, Claude just into video editors and it's just clipping, but it's 10x the cost. It's really expensive to do a lot of this stuff. And Von Frunton added, like, is OpenClaw good? Yes. Is it groundbreaking as NFT God says it is? No. Like it's somewhere in between. Like, can it do really cool stuff? Yeah. But not everyone has a $10,000 a month budget they're going to burn on AI credits just to play around. Like, and that's I think the other thing, a lot of people that are doing you see talking about this stuff on the timeline, they're not really building anything with it. They're just doing what is cool stuff to show like a demo, to drive engagement, to get eyeballs. But it's cool stuff to drive engagement and get eyeballs. It's not scalable. It's not cool stuff because you're not going to spend $10,000 a month on AI credits that you could pay a freelancer $1,500 a month to do. It just doesn't make financial sense for most non-enterprise companies. A lot of the really cool stuff with AI, it like is cool as like a one-off. Like if you want to get an idea but for something like video editing or even clipping, it's just not, most of it is not cost effective today, at least not for a small startup. Small, medium business is just not, it's very, very, very expensive when you really start using it. Or you get like 3 things done and then you're up against your daily limit. It's just, again, it's very, really cool stuff. But as far as it being like something that's going to disrupt or really change your day-to-day life or eliminate all these jobs, I think we're very far way off of that. The cost is going to have to come down significantly for it to really start eliminating all these roles. Quirky Quirk, saw you flew up. GM, go ahead and get in here.
Yeah, GM Captain, GM everyone. Good to hear the discussions. I like to talk back and forth about the NFT PFP. It's funny how you've rocked yours for what, 5 years now? Is that what you said it's going on?
It'll be 5 years and a week. Next,
that's some serious longevity.
Next Friday, Saturday, it'll be 5 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And honestly, I feel like echoing what you said, that it matters, right? Like it's fun to, I think it brings down barriers between people and between when you have something in common, even if you come from completely disparate backgrounds and disparate jobs and areas of the country, right? Or the world for that matter. You know, like you see somebody who is a fellow ape and you're like all of a sudden opening a door to a conversation that you wouldn't before. Or me with the quirkies, like there's lots of times where it just breaks down that little barrier, and that's all you really need to get into like a really true meaningful discussion. So I think there's a lot of value to it, and kind of what I felt all along for the last however many years it's been, that's the best part about this world that we're in, is how these connections we make are just, honestly, I think it breaks down barriers and you make great connections, like regardless of what area of life you come from. Like it sort of is like levels the playing field a bit, even though obviously there's the stratification of like, okay, you got an ape, I got a quirky. There's a different level of investment behind that potentially, but like at the same time, it still is, it's great to break down those barriers, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, personally, I don't care. Like I don't think it doesn't register in my brain whether someone's, rocking an ape or a quirky or a mutant. For all intents and purposes, a quirky and a mutant are almost the same price, right? And but I think it's more, it's like one of us, right? It's a signal that, okay, this person, we have something in common, and that something in common could ranges from a punk to a normie. I'm just looking at the market update here. Something, a lower cost. There's something there, and my words aren't doing the best job of describing it, but
yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you there. I know what you're saying. Like it's like there's some longevity to it, right? Like, I mean, granted, you could have just picked this up yesterday, but I mean, you and like Machiavelli and a lot of people in here have been around for so long, and it becomes part of our history, right? And there's something to say for having been around that long, especially in this area of the world.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I had one other thing to say though too, just the whole bit about AI and OpenClaw, if you don't mind me just chatting for one more minute about it. But yeah, I've been playing around deeply with OpenClaw for probably like back when it was Claudebot, like when it first came out. And I will say, yes, like I burned through a absolute truck ton of credits and tokens and spent way too much money getting it sort of situated. But I will say, now that it's situated, and now that it has this like knowledge and background and memory and crons and history and all of the things that go into it, I feel like I really truly do now have something that knows me, apart from being beholden to one LLM. And I feel like that in and of itself, and I've talked to Micro about it and a lot of other people about it, Jeremy from BeFriends, and like we all feel like there's something now that's a little bit different about it, and that it really truly understands where we're coming from and the personality a bit different, like irrespective of what LLM we're using it on, which I think is beneficial. Even though, like you said, it's not the end of the world. It's not game breaking. It's not gonna be the end all be all, but I think there's something there. And also the other thing that I do, which still is not inexpensive, but like I use it with like a Claude Pro Max, where you spend $200 a month tops, and then you've got it going and running like as high of a level as you can, without spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month on the credits if you're trying to get things run. Yeah,
no, a good take. I don't disagree. I just this started with there was a post about video editors and clippers, their days are numbered because Claude can now do it all for them, or some third party plug this into Claude. It's like, yeah, I can do it. You're not like, I'm not paying $1,000 in credits every day to have Claude edit the clip for the show. I mean, and paying is very valuable, but I don't pay him $1,000 a day.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Awesome. But yeah, awesome discussion. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's a wild world we're living in. So thanks, Cap.
Yep, no, for sure. Let's do this. Let's get into a quick market update. It is a Friday, so we have Coffee with Captain loading, and we have it's going to go to someone in the YouTube chat. If you want to play Coffee with Captain today, and you're able to at least hang around, you don't have to come on stream, but you got to let us know if you want to swap it or keep whatever item you pull. Let us know in the YouTube chat. We'll grab someone from there in a minute. But let's knock out a quick market update, and then we will hit on some of these other headline topics today. And this daily market update, it is brought to you by Awaken Tax. Head to awaken.tax, use code coffee50 or return coffee50 to save $50 off your tax prep software. Even if you already filed your taxes and you didn't go the extension route, it's an annual subscription, so it'll help you get ahead of your taxes this 2026, so you're not scrambling come tax time next year. And big fan of the team over there. Duca and team continue to ship updates, and it's crypto natives building crypto tax software. Love to see it. This is the daily market update brought to you by Awaken Tax.
It's market update time. Let's set the play. Powered by Awaken, the smart tax way. From crypto flips to DeFi stacks, they keep it clean. Got your back. Grab your coffee. Let's break it down. Daily update right now.
Alrighty, I mentioned Bitcoin holding around that 78K mark. It's actually just moved up a little bit on the day from being down slightly. Starting in our majors, Bitcoin up 0.73, almost 1% to 78,399. The big question, can we break 80K this weekend? I bet we get some sort of news this afternoon, probably around 4:45. It seems to be the MO. Probably get some sort of news dump from the U.S. administration after markets close today, and will lead to another volatile weekend. Maybe we go up, maybe we go down, maybe we just chop, but one of those three things will likely come true. ETH is essentially flat, down 0.06%, 2329 on the day. XRP up 1%, BNB up 0.64, Solana up 0.65, it's 8652. Tron basically flat, Doge up 1.66%, Hyperliquid also essentially flat, down 0.35%. My long is like, I opened the long and it's been range bound ever since. So it's still open. I should go check my funding rate. I think I'm like a break even from when I opened the long. I opened it like low 41. So I'm like right there. But we're gonna ride it out and see where we go. Surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, Zcash up 8.85%. And there's another one that made a big run. I'm curious if anyone can guess which one I'm going to highlight next. I'm going to go to NFTs first, and then I'll come back to the other token that has had a finally catching a bid in the last 24 hours. It's up. I'll share you how much. It's up 23%, 25% now in the last month, and up 14% just in the last day. I'm curious if anyone has any guess on that, because when I opened the Hyperliquid long, this was the other one I considered. I just didn't pull the trigger yet. And while I don't usually buy pumps, it's at such a low relative market cap that it's negligible. I mean, not if we're talking crazy leverage, but and and I do hold some spot, but we will. I'll come back to that if we hit these NFTs. Looking at NFTs, speaking of apes, they're up another percent to 8.73 ETH. Punks are up 3.5% to 29.89, rapidly approaching 30 ETH once again. Mutants down 1% to 1.32. Pudgy's down 1.9% to 4.6. Azuki up 6%, went over an ETH at 1.05 ETH now. Little Pudgy's flat at 0.48. Milady's down 2.5% to 1.3. Doodle's down 5.7% after their big pump. They're at 0.53 ETH. Azuki Elementals is at 0.1. Quirky's up another 1.4% to 1.06. Gimbo's just continues their surge, 3,390 ape. And I don't even get that. Like you're going to change your PFP to the worst, the literal worst quarterback in the NFL, and a coach that it's now on record that they were cheaters. Anyways, that was directed at Von Frutton. Good Vibes Club, they're finally catching their bid after seeing everyone else in NFTs run. They're up 8.6% on the day to 0.67. Normie's up 2% to 0.14. And Moonbird's up 3% to 0.88. Coda's a little dip after their big rip. They're down to 0.75. And I don't think that this is the different proof pass. I don't know what this one's about, but anyways, not even going to go there. V1 Punks. This is another NFT I have on my wish list. Is a V1. They're up 11% on the day to 1.73. And that's our daily market update brought to you by Awaken Tax. Again, awaken.tax. Use code coffee50 or return coffee50 for returning users. Did anyone guess what the other token that I was shared the 14% lift in the last 24 hours? And up 25% on the past month. Any guesses? Anyone on stage know what I'm talking about? I don't think anyone in the chat got it yet. Oh, Ilan did. Ilan got it. Anyone on stage now?
No idea.
For Zane, I'm going to say Parkcoin.
Apecoin?
You got it. I figured Machiavelli would just fire a random guess if nothing else. Apecoin's on a ripper. Absolutely.
I said Apecoin.
Oh,
Did you hear me?
I did now, but I didn't. I might have missed it earlier. Just melting faces, up 14% on the day. You look at the last month, up 25% after it bottomed out, and currently at 11.47 cents, which is a $86 million market cap. I think it's got room to run from here. Would be my guess. I need someone to help me reconcile the circulating supply versus the total supply. I mean, I know the total supply is 1 billion, but I think all unlocks have already occurred. There's no more staking. I think all the VC and founder unlock.
Yo, it's 100% in circulation, Cap.
So
100%
this
in circulation.
This is just a coin market cap error.
Yeah.
So if then the market cap is also wrong, because the unlocked market cap of 114 million would be the real market cap. If it's 11 cents at 1 billion tokens, the market cap's 114 million. Yeah. Anyways, GG to the Ape team over there. Maybe time to follow up with the ApeCoin Hub team and see what we can do together once again. Yeah, ApeCoin is across multiple chains. It's on ETH, it's on ApeChain, it's on Solana, and several other chains. They went multi-chain a while back. Not Rect, although now that you say that, I'm going to go check Rect, because that's the other one I've not been buying, but I've been claiming. I hold, I don't sell any. It's up 1% on the month and 2% in the last 24 hours. $41 million market cap, 62 million FDV. I am yeah, I think those might be my beta plays. I'm going to continue to stack Bitcoin, ETH, and Hyperliquid. I think I might just skip Solana and go right down to Ape and Rect is my takes there. We'll go back to Ape Whale and then we'll get Uncle Mac back in here. Ape Whale, thoughts?
Yeah, I don't normally check this, but yesterday I was looking and I saw, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but is 18 million in volume in a day a lot for ApeCoin? Because I saw that yesterday and I was like, oh, that seems like a lot. But I don't know what the normal daily volume is.
I mean, right now on CoinMarketCap, it's showing 44 million in the last day, which has huge numbers, up 219% over the norm.
it felt like more than normal. But I'm gonna step down. I gotta get ready for our space, and I just got to the office.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, man, and I'll be listening. Thanks, man.
Do you have a link for the space today? I saw yesterday's space. I didn't.
It's up there. It's in my. I posted it on my timeline, and there's like a link to the space, but it's up there somewhere.
Okay, I will. I'll look for it. We'll get it pinned up here. But yeah, go for those looking to continue the conversation after. Oh, I got it. Might have pinned it up there. If not, I'll pin it twice. Bored Ape Space at 10 a.m. with Ape Whale in crew. That is. Oh yeah, he's got his reminder up there too. So yeah, we are good. Go hit that. Go give him some love, and if you can drop in, tune in, feel free to do so. Uncle Mac, thoughts on this?
Yeah, just a thought on the ApeCoin price. Is it taking into account the amount of ApeCoin that has been burnt? That is no longer and never will be in supply ever again.
That could be it. That could be the difference. That could be what's throwing coin market cap off. Is although I don't think they burnt. That would be like 25%. Coin market cap is showing a circulating supply of 752 million. I don't think they burned that much yet, have they?
I think that's how much they burnt. I'm pretty sure it was like 250 million or something.
Wow.
It was a pretty big number when they announced it and burnt it, and obviously it's been burning since or been stacking up to be burnt. I think someone put out a thing. I think it's like maybe like 200,000 ApeCoin per day has been burnt. Might have been Church that put that stat out or someone else. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it.
If that's the case, then yeah, I take it back. Coin market cap would be correct, and yeah, I mean that is a big number. And then a lag on because it happened a little while ago, and the runs really the volume spike, and then while it is up 25% in the last month, 15% of like a good chunk of that is just been in the last day. And as we mentioned, volume up 44 million in volume just in the last 24 hours, 220% higher than it normally is. Big rip. Phonics, we're gonna tap you for our Coffee with Captain, longtime OG member of the War Room and in here supporting us every day, and he's been running bad on claw pools, so he is due. We're gonna get him a win today. We're gonna pull him a grail for Coffee with Captain. So don't go anywhere. We'll do that here shortly, and I just need you to let me know whether you want to hold it or swap it for whatever the swap value is. Actually, good time. I will. We'll do that right now. So Phonics, give me a thumbs up or let me know you're still there, and you're able to hang out for like 90 seconds, and we will go ahead and we'll do your claw pool. I'll give him a second to respond because there's like a 10, 15 second delay. I'm pretty sure he's there. Let me. Other items we're going to cover on the other side of this. I will give you some more details on the Clarity Act. We'll talk a little bit about next week what I think we might, some of the speakers and what we might expect at Bitcoin Vegas, and if there's any other big news items. I would love to talk about this the time travelers killing the scientists, but I just don't want to go there because that would be that's for a weekend show if we're going to start talking conspiracy theories that may not be conspiracies. Thank you all for sharing, but I'm gonna pass on the scientists, the run on scientists getting murdered by time travelers conversation. That's for another day. Phonics is with us. So let's do this. Let's shift it back from scientists being murdered to more fun stuff like Coffee with Captain. This is Coffee with Captain. Shout out to BZ. BZ's incredible. Another just stacking records after records, and they grateful for them supporting the show here. This claw pool, this claw pool today is courtesy of BZ and the BZ team. Shout out to Joey and Andrea and everyone over there. This is Coffee with Captain.
Coffee with Captain. Give that claw a spin. Culture grills from BC. Prizes within. Mystery and magic. Where to begin? Coffee with Captain. It's your time to win.
All right, Phonics, we're gonna pull a winner for you here today. This is the silver TGE. So it's a $50 claw pool that you're not going to be paying anything for today, thanks to BZ. But the average value of these claw pulls is $54. So when I say you've been running bad, I'm not just saying that. You actually have been running bad. We're going to change your luck today on Friday. It's a Friday. It's Coffee with Captain. People are feeling it. There was a $130 pull a few pulls ago, but most of the others, there's 170. But it's been a minute, it looks like, since someone pulled a grail. So we're going to get you one of these ones that's north of, there's 5 of them over $500. The chase item is a 2024 Pokemon PAFEN Charizard EX special illustration rare. It's a Gem Mint 10, PSA 10 that's valued at $839. There is a Pokemon Charizard special edition rare. I guess the last one was 2024. This one is 2023. It's weird. Someone, one of you Pokemon collectors, educate me. Why would a 24 be valued at more than a 23? This one's Obsidian Flames Charizard. This one is a Paldean Fates Charizard. Is that like the difference between Chrome or Prism? And is the Paldean Fates, is that more valuable than the Obsidian Flames? Is that the difference? Either way, both, two Gem Mint 10 Charizards, and we also have a 2021 Chilling Rain Blaziken. Am I saying that right? I need to keep going until I at least mispronounce one very bad, so we get a good speaking of those Clippers. Blaziken Gem Mint 10 going for $572, and then we have a 2015 PM Japanese XY Rayquaza that is also a Gem Mint 10. This one was valued at $628, and then a one valued at $589 is a 2019 Pokemon Sun and Moon TGPI CLFA IGL YBF GX. It's a Cosmic Eclipse Togepi. That's definitely wrong. Togepi and Cleffa and Igglebuff GX. There we go. We finally got one, and I have no idea how to pronounce. A 2019 Cosmic Eclipse Togepi, Cleffa, and Igglebuff GX PSA 10. Good luck, Phonics. Here we go. This is your claw pull. We are starting it now. Hey, we got him a positive plus EV. It's Obsidian Flames Ninetales. I know Ninetales, and I can also say that one. It's a PSA 8 from 2023. Its swap value is $54. So Phonics, let me know. Do you want to keep the Ninetales? Do you want to vault the Ninetales, or you want to swap? Would it be like 50 and some change after the fees? But let us know. That's a banger. He's keeping it. Congrats. Nice pull. Yeah, I know enough about Pokemon, the Ninetales. I think that's a pretty good pull. It's an illustration rare. It's a near mint 8, PSA 8, 2023 Obsidian Flames Ninetales. Congratulations, Phonics. Well deserved. Glad to get you a banger in the vault. DM me your BZ account or your ETH address for these, and we will send this on over. Big congrats. And again, shout out to BZ once again for just supporting the show, supporting our community. If you don't have a BZ account yet, head up to the top corner here. That QR code will take you to BZ and our ref link there. We do get a small sliver. I think it's like maybe 1% of your spend goes back to the Coffee with Captain Kitty. And yeah, glad to break the streak. Now, since you've broken the streak, yeah, go pull a 251 and try your luck again. You just have to break the streak. The streak's over. Now it's up only from here since you've went plus EG. They're also telling me that the Togepi was the name I was mispronouncing there. Togepi is what I was missing. Diego agrees. Ninetales is amazing. Special illustration, pretty cool. And fun, excited. People like the newer sets, hence the difference in the 23 and 24 there. Someone bidding on the card that the Diego won. And speaking of Diego, Ninetales evolves from Vulpix. Okay, I learned Ninetales evolves from Vulpix. Good to know. I'll probably forget that. I'm probably saying Vulpix wrong as well, but good to know. People's bidding on his BZ card. Okay, for a minute I thought you were talking about your Zeke card, but congrats again to Phonics. Shout out to BZ. And big fan of, everyone loves Coffee with Captain. So it's a favorite segment. Great if we get to run it back. Thanks to the support from the team over there. And if you haven't yet, go check out BZ. BZ.com. BZ.com. BEZIE.com. Or if you don't have an account, hit the QR code in the top corner there, and it'll take you to our ref link. Quirky Quirk, go ahead.
That was an awesome segment. I think I understood maybe 5% of it, so I felt kind of like an outsider on blockchain, not having any idea what's going on. But what I did hear is Pokemon, and maybe you could tell me if this Will Smith's glove, he had a Pokemon card installed in the webbing of his baseball glove. Did you see that? I posted on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't think he's the only one. I've seen, I think a few pitchers have done it.
Yeah, it's like a Tyranitar. Is that a good one? I have no idea, but I thought it was pretty sweet. I love the showing off the card and the glove. I think that's a pretty sweet move by him.
Shout out to Mike Campbell. Greatly appreciate the poster. He's hooked me up with an Ape Fest Lisbon poster, and I will get you the address after the show. Thank you very much for that. And I'll go. For those who haven't seen the Pokemon glove, I will share it here. The first one I saw was not Will Smith, so he is. I think he is copying someone else, another baseball player. They're putting these Pokemon cards in the back of their glove, which I can't imagine that's great for the card. So making rare Pokemon even rarer, at least ones that are in gym mint condition. But I saw that, and there's a few I've seen do these Pokemon cards now. Thanks for sharing. Let's do this. We got about a half hour left, home stretch. Maybe we get you out of here a little early today, get you ready for Ape Whale Show at 10. Don't forget about the capsule drop at noon Eastern. And I do want to cover, at least briefly cover the Bitcoin Vegas next week. By the way, if you're going to be at Bitcoin Vegas, join us for Dominion. There is it's Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll be at Bitcoin Vegas Tuesday, and then Dominion on Wednesday and Thursday. If you're looking for a ticket for that, use code CWC to get a discount on your Dominion ticket. Incredible lineup, truly looking forward to it. I'm not just saying that because I'm emceeing a portion of it, but I am truly looking forward to meeting some new domainers, as well as some Web3 and crypto legends as well. Machiavelli, go ahead.
Yo, Cap, I just wanted to say that this weekend, Saturday, for other games, we are hosting the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So it will be a return to Monk situation. And we'd love to see that lovely little spacesuit out there.
You said Saturday?
You know what I'm saying? Saturday, 3 p.m. EST. Other Games is hosting the Bored Ape Yacht Club for a 5th year. We have quite a few surprises planned. Rita, Haifa, Honeybee, all of them been working in the background to create a great digital experience. And we'll be rolling that out tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. In the Swamp tonight, we'll be having our space at 9 p.m. pregame with plenty of special guests from the Yacht Club and the team. And, just looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to tell everybody, we got a lot of Bored Ape Yacht Club, people, apes in the house, and would love to see them all there. Would love to see an actual apes versus mutants, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. If I can, I will make it. I don't want to overcommit. I know I've got some plans this weekend.
Overcommit, Cap. Tell the lady, say, babe, I'm sorry. We're staying indoors today for just an hour and a half. I got to come hang out with Machiavelli.
I've got a funny story on that. Something I shared yesterday. Was not expecting her to listen to the show. So on the other side of this break, I'm going to go a quick coffee break. I'll be right back. Probably not going to use the full minute and 22 seconds. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, because I have a funny story to share about that very topic. And then we will cover the Clarity Act update and what to look forward to at Bitcoin Vegas next week. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. If you're looking for something to do during this break, head over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see y'all in about a minute. all right, I shouldn't do this. I'm not supposed to out group chats or private text messages. It's mostly directed at myself, so I will. I'm just going to read it verbatim so I don't mess up. So yesterday, if you were here yesterday, I got a little emotional talking about my daughter's. So two things. One, quick. I'm talking about private text messages. I don't get text during the show because I go on do not disturb. But just got a text from my one of my best friends and partners, real estate partners in Ohio. I shared previously we were pulling out some equity on our rental property we own together, and that deal closed yesterday. The ACH just hit the bank. So if anyone knows any screaming deals on real estate here on either coast of Florida, I might look at something here in the Tampa St. Pete area, down all the way down to Sarasota, or over on near like Boca Raton near FAU's campus. My daughter's she's going dorms her first year, but as opposed to just paying rent to someone else's campus rental, would rather be paying down equity on my own. So yeah, if anyone flush with cash and looking to put it into a property here in Florida, if we can find a good deal. But the text I was going to go get and share is on yesterday's show talking about just like envy is not the right word. That's what I used yesterday a couple times. I'm not envious. I'm excited, happy. I can live vicariously through my friends who are my age that have 3-year-old. Like my friend I was just talking to, he's got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, I believe. I've got some nephews. Like I miss. I've got a month from today, my daughter graduates, and then she's off to school, and I'll get to see her around holidays and occasional events a couple times a year, but probably won't be living under the same roof for the rest of my life, and just feeling that little bit of like woe is me, and having ran the 0 to 18 as a relatively young individual, and now wanting, I alluded to wanting to run it back again, considering it, thinking it, not really, but because I don't want to be in my 60s when a kid's graduating. So I say that not thinking, like, I know my girlfriend's listened to the show before and she'll tune in, but she works, has a real job. She's an actual adult and a professional, doesn't just stream a show for a couple hours a day like myself. And around 1:28 yesterday, I get this text. She goes, lunchtime, listening to your podcast. 1, how is Sadie doing this morning? 2, do you want a baby? ? Or to adopt? ? 3, glad you don't feel alone. Glad you have an incredible Latina girlfriend that has your back. Me as well. And then I did have to quickly disclaimer, sweating emoji. No, I don't really want a baby. Just still a little emotional after the hug from Sadie, tearing up last night. Wish I could do the last 10 years over again with her. But yeah, that's my actual alpha. If you're a host, a streamer, if you host spaces, just know that anyone can be listening at any time. And if you're going to say things like tongue in cheek, like you want another kid, be sure to disclaimer that first, because you just never know who might be listening in on whether live or recording. But yeah, didn't quite know how to handle that text other than sweating emoji. I'm sweating now, even rereading her text to me, because we've definitely not talked about having children. Neither of us are in child age bearing mode, but or in the consideration.
She said, do you want to adopt, Cap? She really considered it.
I said it was because I said that yesterday. I joked around adopting a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old so I wouldn't be in my 60s when they graduate. And my only criteria was that they've got the DNA of a professional athlete, to where at minimum they could be like an NFL kicker. I joked around that. That's why she said you would adopt. She was not trying to plant that seed. It was me who said that. And yeah, I literally was sweating. So
get yourselves a Latina, everybody. This is just a good lesson. Or a Latino. Listen, if you can't get a Latina, get a Latino. All right.
Cap, you can have my 7-year-old daughter if you want.
Like 7 would be good. I don't want to take anyone else's children away from them, but like 7, let's see, that would
you're not taking it. I'm giving it willingly.
I would put, so I turned 46 this summer. 7 There'd be 11 more years. I would be 57. As long as I could come out, like they're out of high school and in college by the time I'm 60, I think I'd be okay with that. But like, yeah,
She's great. I kid. She'll probably listen back to this and be like, Dad, you tried to give me away when I was 7. What the hell? So I better watch what I'm saying here.
I don't even know. I don't. Yeah, dude, Mayhem says greatest episode for her to listen back to. Right? Like she's very supportive. Like every day she comes home, she's like, "How was the show?" Like she's very, very supportive. I do. I'm grateful for that. But she's busy and she doesn't. She'll sometimes listen on her drive into work. But then is out like, doesn't catch the whole show. I'm just wasn't even thinking like, oh, she might hear this as I said that stuff. Like kind of tongue. I mean, I was serious, but also tongue in cheek. Like I'm not. I think I said like if I had accidentally had a baby, I would be excited, but it's not something I'm trying to do at this point in my life. Now I say that and watch me end up having a kid, and the kid hears this 20 years from now and realizes they were an accident. Again, watch what you say on Spaces. That's the alpha today. Doomers. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna out the war room completely. There's nothing wrong with being in your 50s or 60s and having kids at home. I just like selfishly speaking, it's like, I guess if I was going to do that, I would have rather deferred. I like, again, all this is tongue in cheek. My kids are awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's not like I don't take this out of context, but I think it's like, it's one or the other. It's like you have like your 20s where you're, it's just you or you and your significant other. And then you get into parent mode, or you go like my route and you have, I came into my stepdaughter's life on her 3rd birthday. And then my daughter was born 9 months after my honeymoon. And I was 20, got married at 26, 27. And so I was 27 with my first kid and relatively early for most, like I don't know any of my friends at that age that had kids, 2, let alone 1, or 1, let alone 2. So I think it's either way is fine. I just selfishly, I don't necessarily want to do both and have like 40 years of kids in my house. I'm like, I like adventures. I like exploring. I like traveling. And yes, you can do that stuff with your kids. It's also freaking expensive, man. Like, I'm not complaining. Please don't take any of this out of context. It's just like, if I were to have a kid now, I'm looking at, they said recently, someone came out and said it now costs, I think it's like $350,000 is the cost of raising a kid from 0 to 18. I think that's like maybe the low end, if I were to guess. I think if you have a kid in like travel sports, you're easily over $500,000. I just knowing how much I paid for travel soccer and volleyball, and then lacrosse a little bit, but really travel soccer and volleyball was like, I mean, just those sports, and both kids did their travel sports for, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And it would shock some people. And this isn't like, oh,
don't even get into ice hockey.
I can't imagine ice hockey and that stuff. Like, I know. Well, again, I'm not trying to out people. I'm not sure how much they share publicly, but I know some people whose kids do ice hockey. And it's like, yeah, it's some of these sports at the travel level are insanely expensive. Like $25,000 a season expensive. And more sometimes if you're traveling. Like at a peak of volleyball, we were doing 3 or 4 out of state tournaments every season, and you're talking flights for multiple people, obviously, to Salt Lake or Chicago or Philadelphia, and then you got hotels and flight, and then on top of it, it's the fees to play the sport. And I also I went to public schools. My oldest was in public schools. And they were great public schools. And then I moved to Florida, and the public schools, at least in the areas I was living, were not great. It was more like a scene out of Disturbed Minds. Is that what I'm thinking of? The Michelle Pfeiffer one, Disturbed Minds, Dangerous Minds. She went one day. We the next day we put her in a private school. And awesome friends, awesome experience, but also not cheap. Like her high school, not even counting the middle school. Her high school is going to cost far more than what her college education is going to cost. And it's just like, so now that I've done that, I think I would, if I were to have another child, they would support them, whatever they want to do. If they want to play travel hockey, I'd find a way. It's just, and it's not even like the money, like it's worth it, like to support your kids and what they enjoy doing, but it's the money and time. And like, instead of, those who like don't go the kid route, I understand the why behind it. Like there's, it's like an amazing, at least once a year, if not multiple times a year, an amazing trip somewhere, an amazing experience. Whereas, one of those expensive trips one year was, downtown Philadelphia. No offense, Phonics, like the market is cool in downtown Philly, but it was like a war zone. It's like what people talk about, like this, like Skid Row in LA. Like, it was not like somewhere I would go to vacation or stay there. Maybe go like stay out somewhere else in Philly and then go visit that downtown area. But anyways, I digress. I'm probably getting myself in more trouble. I'm sweating once again talking about kids and how expensive they are.
You're definitely getting a text message later today. It's like, oh, I didn't know our kids were going to play travel hockey. That's great. Thanks, Cap.
And it's again, I love my children. Like they're awesome. My youngest is like, she's a full blown socialite as an 18-year-old, and she goes to a private school where her friends are great, but a lot of her friends are like third, fourth generational wealth type kids. Like one of her best friends her grandparents owns Clearwater Pier, like the entire pier on Clearwater Beach. They are kids who get like $90,000 Jaguars on their 16th birthday. You wouldn't know, like kids who they're out shopping and one of them pulls out their black card to buy a $2,500 handbag. You wouldn't know it to talk to the kids. They're very humble, very good kids. But just like the basics, just like going out and hanging out with your friends, it's several $100s a month of funding an 18-year-old just for, stuff, not even factoring in the brunt of like proms and, multiple proms, and it adds up. Anyways, I'm venting, I'm digressing. Why I'm sharing all this, I'm talking myself out of having another child is what I'm doing. Instead of buying Bitcoin in 2012, I was funding a travel soccer career for my now 24-year-old stepdaughter. Mike, GM, welcome to the stage. Please save me, sir. I don't know where to take this. Diego is saying, careful with the Latinas. They're like the Pegasus software of women. I don't know what that means, but I felt the need to share it. He says Latinas see, hear, feel, and analyze everything, everywhere. Cap. They even when you're not expecting it, the support of listening to the show and catching me talking babies. Here we are. Mike, GM.
Hey, GM. I just wanted to commiserate a little bit with you. And the leaving the nest and the travel hockey experience, I've had both. My son, when he was 11, decided he wanted to play travel hockey. And I was like, okay, cool. I had no idea how expensive it was. Now, we live in Los Angeles, so it's even more expensive for us than it is anywhere else in the country because we have to travel so far to play, higher level teams and stuff like that, too. And it's grown a lot here. But it was cheaper for me to send him to prep school in Massachusetts, or it was roughly the same cost. When he was 15, I sent him out to Massachusetts at prep school, where he played 5 different varsity sports and became a lacrosse player in college now. But it's so damn expensive. I'm still paying it off. It's insane.
Yeah.
How expensive it is. And the professionalization of children's sports has just gotten way, way out of control. Now, the other thing, go ahead.
So I say it is. It's out of control. But what do you do? Like, if your kid wants to play hockey or lacrosse or volleyball, it's like, if you have the means, I speak for myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to provide them whatever they want within reason. And I'm not going to say, because sports were so meaningful to me, like my childhood, and I didn't do the whole travel sports thing, but like, it's almost like if you even aspire to play at the next level, if you aspire to do this in college, you kind of have to. Like, it's not really, it'd be very difficult the other way. You'd have to be just an insanely naturally gifted, insane athlete if you're not going to play the professionalized route. And it's really expensive.
You're right, and that's why we ended up at prep school with him, is because he and I sat down together, and I asked him. I said, how far do you want to go with this? He's like, well, I want to be a professional. And I said, okay, there's 700 jobs in the world, and most of them are taken. So what's the next level down, right? He's like, well, I want to play college. Okay, so we figured out the best way to get to college, and ultimately the education experience and the sports experience all gelled together with prep school. The way it works was the best bet at the time. It's changed now for travel hockey, but at that time, that was the best bet. So that's what we did. So I agree with you on that, and I don't know what to do about it. You know, if you're a hockey player, move to Minnesota, where it's a community sport and way cheaper.
You can stay with me if you want.
There you go. There you go. The other thing I wanted to mention too with your daughter, you know, so my son left first. He's younger, but he left first because he went to prep school. And then my daughter graduated from high school and she went to college across the country in Virginia. The time I remember really hitting me that she was gone was she'd already been in college for 2 years and she was home, and her two best friends and roommates flew out and spent a couple nights here, and then they were piling into her car and driving across the country. And I was standing in the garage and they were in the car and she pulled out. And man, you can hear it in my voice now. That's when it hit me. It's like, she's gone. She's gone.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Damn, I'm gonna cry too now, bro. Oh, man.
Yeah, you got
she
me
comes over all
tearing
the
up
time
now.
to visit.
Mine hasn't even left yet, but it's hard for me to even talk about it now because I know how emotional it makes me. And I got a little emotional yesterday, and even just like trying to relive like her last lacrosse game. She came off the field, you know, comes up, gives me a big old hug, and just tears start flowing. It's like, it took everything. Like, I want to be there for her. I also don't want to, like, it's okay. Like, it's, you know, not to be cheesy, but it's not like, don't be sad that it's over. Be glad that it happened. Right. Like, and I didn't say that. I probably should have, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It goes so freaking fast. Like, it seems like yesterday we just getting started in that middle school, and then started playing lacrosse like yesterday, and you blink and they're off. So I will, you know, a little bit of time before she goes off to college. And it's not like I'm never going to see her again, but it really does. Until you experience it, it's hard. Like my words, Mike words, it's almost impossible to put it into words. Like one of those things you don't know until you know. It's like you don't know until you experience them going off. And yeah, it hit me like a brick in the face.
You've convinced me to keep my 7-year-old.
Yeah,
so, sorry, I'm taking that offer back.
Yeah, you should.
So yeah, let me interject real quick, Cap. As you know, I raised my kiddo by myself since he was 4 turning 5, and he's 18 turning 19. And yeah, I'm not kicking him out of the house anytime soon at all. Even though we joke around like things, nah, I love him to death.
Yeah, no, and I like everyone's different. Like some, I guess, might kick their kids out. Others might charge them rent. Like my kid can stay with me as long as she wants. She wants to come back after college, and fine, the door is open. But she is going to school, and I don't expect her to come back, and I've accepted that. I guess I kind of net this out. My finishing thought, and then I will cover this Clarity Act update. I promise. I am in the same boat as Mayhem. Mayhem says I'm ready for the surfing and sand part of my life. I'm not going to necessarily be surfing, but I've talked about it here. Like I do want to go. I shared with my buddy yesterday. Like what I really want to do is take down a luxury boutique hotel in Costa Rica, and we can't do it for the small 6 figures that we pulled out of the property yesterday. But in a few years, like I'd love to do that. That's off the table if I have a newborn or adopt a 5 to 7-year-old. So and like I don't know if I'd want to do that in my mid 60s. So I think part of it is just like life's in chapters, and grateful for all this chapter, all the memories, but also it is sad to be seeing it come to an end, and it really like forces reflection. It forces reflection, and yeah, if you are, that's the leave you with all this before I hit on this Clarity Act is if you do still have little ones at home, enjoy every minute, because I know everyone says this, time flies. It goes exponentially when you have kids, and there's something happens like when they hit high school, it really is like a blink. Like every year goes faster than the one before it, and then it's here. And like I said, she's graduating in a month, and it is hard to believe. Let me do this. This is we just got a few minutes left here. I do want to cover these headlines. I don't want to title bait anyone. Clarity Act. It's not dead, but it is not looking good. As I mentioned, Polymarket, they went just in the week, went from 72% down to 46% likelihood of getting passed. The April markup is officially not happening. The Senate Banking Committee never set a date But the chairman, who was consumed by the Kevin Warsh Fed nomination hearing that took place on Tuesday, tomorrow is the soft deadline, is effectively passed without any action. So new line in the sand actually comes from a fellow Ohioan, Bernie Moreno, senator from Ohio, who on Wednesday issued a blunt ultimatum. The Clarity Act must clear Congress by the end of May or risk being shelved indefinitely. Congress breaks for Memorial Day recess on May 21st. That leaves roughly 3 weeks of floor time to run the gauntlet. Anyone that is in the political streets, Funky, thank you for coming up because you can fill in the blanks here. And there's a few other things I want to hit on the Clarity Act headline, but Funky is our in-house political correspondent and does a lot of great things, both for the state as well as locally in the Tampa St. Pete area. Educate me. I should know this, but it's the stuff I wasn't paying attention to in high school. They recess. They break on Memorial Day, May 21st. When do they come back? How long is the break?
It's a short break. So I'll just rewind everything and start by saying that first and foremost, I literally was just in a blockchain association meeting this past Tuesday. This is the biggest trade association in the US. It's pushing a lot of policy, has direct contact with many of the lawmakers, super, super important group. Patrick Witt, who is the executive director of the Crypto Council for the White House, was there, spoke directly to the membership, and talked about what the problem is right now. So there is a housing affordability bill that is sucking up all the oxygen in the Senate. That's the main problem right now. And as he said, once a bill is out of sight, it's out of mind. So because they're no longer thinking about clarity and working on it, this has become the challenge. Now, Patrick said in that call, the number one thing we could do is call the senators, especially on the Senate Banking Committee, because they're the ones that still need to mark up the bill. We're just waiting for that markup, as you pointed out, Cap, because once that markup happens, it can then go to the floor for a vote. The challenge, however, as you noted, is they're going to hit this recess. I think that recess just goes through Memorial Day because Patrick said the last best hope to get this under the wire, these are his exact words, is June, because there's a lot of working weeks in June. And hopefully if they can get things back on track for June, they should be able to get it passed. He said the word if probably way more than I would have liked when he was giving his little 10-minute spiel during the beginning of the BA meeting. But that seems to be June might be the last best hope for getting this passed.
And why is that? So the headline I read, or the article I read, it said, they need to get it done by, or actually Moreno said they need to get it done by May 21st or risk being shelved indefinitely. You say it's a quick break, they come back, and then they get it done by June. Why then? Like, what is it, because of the midterms and everything just shifts focus? Like what? That's what I'm struggling to understand. Like, why is there it has to get done now or it's never going to happen?
Because there's fewer working weeks in July. And then once they go on the August recess, at that point forward, everybody who's running for re-election is not going to care about getting legislation done. It's going to be just about the midterm elections and making sure that they can retain their seat, whether that's in the House or the Senate. So I think that ultimately that's why he was saying June is probably the getting it under the wire, if that's the month that it's going to happen. But the bigger problem that persists is just getting the markup done so they can get to a floor vote. Because I think once it gets there, Patrick made it sound like once it gets to the floor, it's a foregone conclusion that it will pass, and then they'll kick it back to the House. They don't foresee any kind of real rumblings from the House because they know that this is a huge priority and they want to get it done. So that's hopefully what's going to happen. But if I find out anything in the next month or so, I'll be sure to give you an update as well.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And here is since you're here, if you don't mind hanging out for a few more minutes, because this is the other things I had, and you could either add to this or correct me if I'm saying anything wrong. There's 5 sequential hurdles that still stand between the current bill and Trump's desk. We talked about the Senate Banking Committee markup that has to happen. It's not even been scheduled yet. Then it's got to go to a full Senate floor vote, which requires 60 votes to break filibuster. Then reconciliation with the Senate Agriculture Committee version, which passed committee in January. Then reconciliation with the House passed text, which passed 294 to 134 in July of 2025. Then the presidential signature. Does that sound right?
That is all correct. And my understanding, based on what Patrick had told us, it's really just the Senate Banking Committee. So once they can, I think that they're ready to reconcile the versions. I think that there's already been conversations that have been ongoing behind closed doors, because a couple times we've heard directly from the aides who sit on these committees in previous meetings back in April, back in March. So it seems like, because to your point, the Ag Committee had already done theirs, it's just this whole sticking point, mostly about the yield on stable coins, which seems to be put to bed, then it's not put to bed. But I think because this whole housing bill has kind of now taken everybody's focus, the Senate Banking Committee is just like, okay, putting this on the back burner. And the best thing we can do is call those members. If you are a U.S. citizen and you can, that's the number one thing Patrick suggested, is just that call the Senate offices for anybody who's on the Senate Banking Committee and just hound them to get back on this, because we got to get it passed. That's what they said, the number one thing anybody working in the industry could do.
Love it. Well, thank you for sharing, but not only sharing, but thank you for all that you do for the space, for pushing the space forward. It really does take an army and a lot of leaders like yourself that are passionate about this stuff, that care, and not only have the know-how, but put in the time and do the work to help push this stuff forward. And yeah, if you're looking for something else to do this weekend, other than joining Machiavelli and Other Side, reach out to your sender and tell them to get this thing done. Related, I speak all the stuff you do. Coincidentally, ironically, I had a conversation this week with the Arcadia team, and I'm right in thinking like the meetups and stuff that you're co-hosting here in the area. You guys use introduction.com, right?
Yes. So Duke Kim, who's from Securitize, he also lives in Tampa here with me. And it's because we talk smack about Miami, because there was a Miami, they do it Miami, New York, and San Fran. And so then Mickey came to me and said, is there crypto people in Tampa? And I'm like, yeah, man, there's a lot of people around the Tampa Bay area. And so still waiting for you to come out, man. Would love for you to join us. We're doing it. This will be the second Thursday of this month coming up in May because of consensus, with that being the first week. But normally it's the first Thursday of every month. We do from 7 to 9 p.m. It's introduction.com. You do not have to be a member, although Duke and I will tell you why it's so great to be a member if you ask. But otherwise, it's just cool people hanging out from all over. And, you get people coming. We had a guy come from Jacksonville, drive down.
Wow.
But we have people from Sarasota, St. Pete, Clearwater, all over, Lutz, coming in that are from the local area. And it's always a great time just hang out and chat with people about what they're doing.
I love it. I truly do want to get to one. And now that the cross is over, tier, Thursday nights, granted you host them pretty late. Like you start these things around my bedtime, but I'll suck it up for at least one and come join you.
I feel you, because that is a late night for me to stay up till 9 o'clock and get in bed by 9:30. I feel you.
But no, I am looking forward to it. And I didn't know that Arcadia and Mickey were behind introduction.com. That was a dot I put together just this past week. Is Mickey in Tampa?
Mickey is not. He is in Nashville. A couple of the core folks from Arcadia are in Nashville. He did fly down for the second one. He just literally flew down for that night and hung out with us and then went back. But yeah, he bought it from Brandon Turp, who originally started the group as GDM3. And then they rebranded as introduction.com. And, it's since grown to about 400-ish members now.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. And again, truly appreciate all that you do. For those asking about Bitcoin Vegas or Dominion, I mentioned going to be emceeing a portion of that. We're also going to be hosting a Doma on Air live from Dominion on Thursday. That'll be live from the Doma Protocol accounts. Doma Protocol is the X account. No link yet, but I'll see if we can get that out before the actual show next week. And then appreciate everyone also who is chimed in on the kiddo conversation. Ginger says, my daughter's very last college flag football game will be next weekend. So many years through travel soccer and then discovering flag, getting a scholarship for school, and now it's over. It's so hard. We love showing up to games and won't be able to do it anymore. I think I might have enjoyed her lacrosse. I mean, she loved it and she put a lot of work in, but I think I might have enjoyed watching her play as much as she enjoyed playing the game. And yeah, it was hard on me, and I tried my best not to show how I was just as emotional as she was after her final game. Change is tough, but we'll find new seasons to show up for her. Yes, thank you very much. Sending love right back at you, Ginger. Appreciate the love. And then I think I think Diablito and Hizzy might have it right. He says Diablito says adopt a 15-year-old and then have them work at the hotel in Costa Rica you have for a few years. Yeah, that might be the play. That or find a like a 14, 15-year-old Venezuelan that's already a baseball star, and we can we'll just speed run that and not have a child in the house till I'm 60. A kid, but Quirky Quirk, I saw you shared Sahil Bloom. Yeah, that's the time spent with children. It is by the time your child turns 18, you've spent 95% of the time you will ever spend with them in your lifetime. There are specific windows, much shorter than you care to imagine or admit, during which certain people and relationships will occupy your life. You may have one more summer with all your siblings, 2 more trips with that old group of friends, a few more years with your wise old aunt, a handful of encounters with that coworker you love, one more long walk with your parents. If you fail to appreciate or recognize these windows, they will disappear quickly. Time wealth is about awareness of these windows and taking action against that awareness. It is about recognizing that you are in more control of your time than you realize, that you can take actions to create time with the people you love most. Show up to that recital, plan that trip with old friends, grab that quick coffee, go on that walk with your parents, have that meal with your sibling. In the end, it's not about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the company, the people along the way. Cherish the people and the rest will fall into places as it should. There are some of the many perspectives, shifting insights in his new book, The 5 Types of Wealth. It'll help ask the questions you've been avoiding so you can create the change necessary to build your dream life. And he included a link of ordering the Amazon copy. Quirky Quirk, if you wanted to get in here for the quick one, I do got to shut it down and get out of here. But thanks for sharing that. I'd seen it before, and yeah, that was very, very fitting.
Yeah, no, quick one. But yeah, I'm glad you read that. And he's actually a close friend of mine, Sahil, and I think he realized, like, having been in banking and finance and all these things, that, like, you know, there's some things that really matter, and that's time with people we care about. And which also, bringing it full circle, I appreciate being in here and time with everybody in here, because I think we have very thoughtful conversations, and the Clarity Act stuff was fascinating. And just, I think another thing, call your senators, you know, because we only got a few amount of time for that. So let's get something happening there. But thanks for sharing that, Cap. And yeah, great time with everybody.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate yourself. Thanks so much for everyone who added value to the conversation today, whether you joined us on stage or in the comments in the chat. Congrats to Phonics. Shout out to Beezy for Coffee with Captain. And yeah, Zonko, it's hard to say present, but working on it. It is. But I think the conscious approach to being present, and that tweet I just read is it's easier to do it when you're consciously thinking about it. I shared my good friend that I partnered up with on some real estate. He is like the glue of our college friend group. He's like admin of, like, I don't know, half a dozen group text. And, you know, not only does he host a summer party every year and invites everyone over, it's like anytime he's traveling, if he's close to a friend, he'll go out of his way to make sure he even has lunch or coffee. And just, he really treasures the time, and knows that it is fleeting. And, you know, that's whether it's friends or family, like, you know, as we hit this chapter of life, speaking to myself, you know, there's individuals that are near and dear to me that I may not see 10 times the rest of my life. And you really, then it forces you to be present and really treasure the time you do have with them. And I think it's a good stark reminder here on a Friday. That said, Ape Well Space just started. If you want to go continue the Board Ape Yacht Club conversation, hit that space up top. I know Cheeses has his Reality Bites space at 11. And don't forget about, if you're looking for those capsules, that Board Ape Yacht Club merch apparel capsule drop, it is at noon Eastern time today. Good luck. Supply is limited, so if you're going for that, good luck. And we will be back Monday. Monday will be, I'm very serious about a property in Costa Rica. Would love to have a chat. I'm very serious. I don't know the timeline. So I'm very serious, but much as I would love to say, yes, I'm ready to do it now, because I am, realistically, it's probably a couple years out. At least in terms of, like, what I'm talking about is like moving there and living on site and effectively managing the property. You know, obviously hiring local help and stuff, but like being the GM on site essentially. And I'm probably a couple years out from that at least. So I'm very serious, but timeline is what is the uncertain. But yeah, if you're interested and know some people or some property available, I would be happy to take a look, with the disclaimer that I'm realistically probably a couple years out. But appreciate you sharing. Enjoy your weekends. Monday show will be a regular show. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, TBD. We'll go live for sure. We'll be live every morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Tuesday is the toughest. Outer. Oh, shoot. Speaking of things today, not only is the merch drop at noon, almost forgot, the voice chat in the DJ Network or the Coffee with Captain Discord is Outer is going to be hosting an AI how to vibe code voice chat today, sharing some of her expertise and knowledge. And if you're in there, you're not going to want to miss it. If you're interested in that stuff, let us know. Hit us with an invite or hit us with a DM. We can get you in there. The war room is token gated, but the voice chat is going to be open to anyone who has that invite. So yeah, let us, if you want to get in there, if you're not already, if you are in there, don't miss it. I think it'll be well worth your time. And speaking of alpha being shared, we'll support Outer with that and get some of that AI alpha here at noon today. We will be back next Monday here on all the streams, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, TBD, whether we stream or go voice only. But we will be live each and every day next week, even with the travels and the conferences. If you're going to be in Vegas, let me know. Let's grab an in real life coffee if we can make our schedules align. Looking forward to it. Hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great day, everyone.